Tonight on the Night Team.
There's days like today that are extremely difficult.
2 women are dead tonight and 3 others, including a Kentucky state trooper, are injured after a suspect opened fire in Lexington. The suspect was then shot and killed by Lexington police officers.
Sometimes things happen. We just don't have a reason why.
And in Louisville, reports of an active aggressor at the Kentucky Expo Center turned out to be false.
Oh, man, I've been officiating for 9 years, and I've never seen this happen before.
Thousands of people at the Expo Center for the Run for the Roses Classic ushered out of the tournament, play suspended for the day, and heavier safety measures now being taken. Right now on the WHAS11 Night Team. We're following 2 developing stories in Kentucky today. 3 people are dead and 3 others, including a state trooper, are injured after a shooting outside a church in Lexington. And in Louisville, thousands of people were ushered out of the Expo Center during the Run for the Roses Classic today after false active aggressor reports. Thanks for joining us on the Night Team. In Fayette County, 6 people were shot by a suspect who was then shot and killed by Lexington police officers after a standoff. But we want to start here in Louisville, where tens of thousands of people were ushered out of the Expo Center following false reports of an active aggressor. And that is the sound of the alarm inside of the Kentucky Expo Center today. As you can see, lots of people, tens of thousands of people were inside for the Run for the Roses Classic today, being ushered out of the Expo Center. And that was earlier today after report active aggressor. According to LMPD, those reports were false. Officers say no victims were found and no shots were fired at the Kentucky Expo Center. LMPD mentioned the devastating shooting in Lexington that happened today, saying it may have put more people on edge.
LMPD understands that people are on higher alert after the incident this week or today, and left in with the officer and the trooper in the church. We understand you're on high alert about that.
Police had initially reported they were working on an incident involving a possible active aggressor at the Kentucky Expo Center around 3:30 this afternoon. And at that time, thousands of people were at the Kentucky Expo Center where the Run for the Roses Classic was taking place. Officials with the Expo Center say the tournament finished for the day following the incident, but at 6 this evening, they opened everything back up only to let people get their things. We spoke to a tournament official who was at the basketball tournaments when the chaos broke out.
So for their experience and for this to be ruined while what's ever going on inside is just, I mean, it sucks for them, but it's also like, I can just imagine how scared they are and not knowing what's going on. It's been recruiting for 5 years. This is the first time I've ever been evacuated from any event. It's also one of the first events I've ever been to where there isn't like metal detectors. So that was a little different. I've never been to a recruiting event and there's not like some type of security when you walk into the event.
Tournaments resume tomorrow, and officials say security at the Expo Center has changed. They will be using handheld metal detector wands at all entrances, and bag checks will also be done. LMPD says there were a few people who got minor injuries while leaving the Kentucky Expo Center. They're also investigating how this incident occurred and if any charges are warranted. Kentucky Venues President and CEO David S. Beck shared in a statement saying, quote, "Our priority remains the safety and well-being of our guests, staff, and partners. We appreciate your patience and support as we continue working with law enforcement." Well, we've seen some pop-up showers all weekend, and that's not the end of the rain as we head into the work week. Meteorologist Danielle Moss joins us now from the Weather Center with how long this rain is sticking around. Danielle.
We're definitely wrapping up the day with some heavy downpours and a few lightning strikes that are still ongoing. Today, our high 92 degrees, slightly above our average of 89, but far away from that record of 104 that was set in 1936. The rain, it definitely cooled us off. It dropped our temperatures just a little bit. Over the next few hours, we're going to continue to see that rain push off to the east. We will be dry by the time we hit that midnight hour, and then we'll have some pretty heavy cloud cover as we head into your Monday morning. We're not done with the rain by any means. Monday's looking a little bit drier. In fact, mostly dry. I think that there's less than a 20% chance of rain for your Monday, and then we'll see some rain chances increasing as we head into midweek. The closer we get to the weekend, the heavier the rain we are anticipating. In fact, here's a look at that 3-day forecast for you. We could be seeing some isolated showers and thunderstorms to start this week. Temperatures near 92 degrees, not too bad to start the week as far as our temperatures are concerned. We won't be fighting that humidity. We're just going to have to keep our eye on that rain as we prepare. Tomorrow, highs could be near 87 degrees, partly cloudy, starting mostly cloudy, but then we'll have some partly cloudy skies. If you need to do any outdoor work, tomorrow's your day. I'll time out the rest of your week coming up in my full forecast.
We want to take you now to Fayette County, where 6 people were shot, 2 women were killed, and another 3 were injured. That includes a KSP trooper. The suspect was then shot and killed by Lexington police officers after a standoff. WHAS11 night teams Clarice Shaley and photojournalist Aspen Hester have more from the community that's reeling.
For a shooting like that, no, almost unheard of.
Out in the countryside of Fayette County, surrounded by horses grazing in the fields.
Even over them that had not sinned after the similitude.
It was a normal Sunday service at Richmond Road Baptist Church. Pastor Jerry Gum live streamed earlier in the day.
The majority of the individuals that attend the church there are related biologically some way or another. If not, they've been friends for many, many years. So it's a very tight-knit group of people.
Their Sunday was interrupted when an armed man came to the church off Old Richmond Road and opened fire, killing 2 women and injuring 2 men, one in critical condition while the other is stable. There was a standoff and 3 Lexington police officers opened fire on the suspect, killing him.
We're about 2 miles away from the church on Old Richmond Road, and that's as far as we can go. It's blocked off and has been for many hours after the incident. They're only allowing in locals and law enforcement.
Sometimes things happen. We just don't have a reason why. But we're going to be here.
Earlier in the day, the suspect was stopped by Kentucky State Police near Versailles Road, close to the Bluegrass Airport, after a trooper scanned his license plate. That's when the suspect shot the trooper and fled the scene. The trooper is being treated for his injuries. The suspect then went to Bellawood Drive and carjacked a vehicle.
For a carjacking, that's a first for me here, and I've lived here for 30 years.
The suspect then made his way to the Baptist church. Officials believe he had a connection to the people at the church. We are told the suspect had a history of mental health, drug, and anger issues. The suspect allegedly had a domestic situation with an ex-girlfriend who then filed protection orders against him. Law enforcement also said he was wanted prior to this incident.
There were also community members who stopped today to assist the Kentucky State police trooper, and I want to thank them for their courage and support to help.
Law enforcement also gives their condolences to the families who've lost loved ones in an incident that spanned across the city. In Fayette County, Clarice Shaley, WHAS 11 night team on your side.
The 2 women who were killed have been identified by officials. Those are 72-year-old Beverly Gum and 32-year-old Christina Combs. Both women died after being shot at the church. Officials say more information will be released about the suspect after their family has been notified. Today, Governor Andy Beshear shared in a statement saying, quote, "Violence like this has no place in our Commonwealth or country. Please join Brittany and me as we pray for the families of those lost, each one a child of God gone too soon. Kentucky, let's stand strong together and support our Lexington neighbors during this difficult time." And Attorney General Russell Coleman also released a statement today saying, in part, quote, "This is another reminder of the grave danger we ask law enforcement to face every single day. We go to houses of worship to gather in fellowship, unite in faith, and reach toward our Creator. In light of this tragedy, we turn to God with our prayers for the injured trooper and the victims' families," end quote. Well, today was the ribbon cutting to celebrate the opening of the newly built Pavilion at Riverside. The new pavilion is replacing the one that was destroyed after catching fire in July of 2023. The celebration was held during the annual ice cream social at the Farnsley Mormon Landing. And after years of the pavilion being closed, the community is ready to welcome it back.
For community events like the Ice Cream Social, for family events like reunions and anniversary celebrations, weddings and receptions. I think people are excited that it's back. It's been missed because it was a popular place to gather.
The original Riverside Pavilion was built in the late 1990s. It was dedicated in honor of former Mayor David Armstrong, who passed away in 2017.